Eyup, it's Louise. I want to talk to you about books today. You might think that because now I'm a self-described specky narc that I've been reading a lot. Incorrect. I've been really getting my money's worth from my like 15 free hours Spotify audiobooks because I've listened to 3 books and I've read 2. One of these I've read before, so does it even really count? No, but I'm going to talk to you about it anyway. I just have so many books. But then, when I get into bed at night, and it's my designated reading time, I start doing crosswords because I'm a grandma. Me and my partner are like, be in bed, cup of tea, do a crossword. I love that for me. I'm just living my best life. I do my crossword or I do my crochet. Granny habits, and I love it. I'll do my first 2 books, my physical books, and then I will talk about my audiobooks that I've listened to, and I'll helpfully put a picture of the cover. Like here, you know, with the power of editing. Also the sun keeps going in and out, so sorry if I'm really bright and then I'm not, but you know, I only get 1 hour of sunshine a day. Up north, down pit, you don't know you're born. We used to have to walk 15 miles both ways uphill for a bit of sunshine. I don't know what I'm on about. So I've read this before, Boy Parts by Eliza Clark, but it shows you how little books I read. I was gonna say little many, that doesn't make sense. How little books I read. I went to see the play of this in November and I thought, oh, I'll read it before that. I've only read 5 books since November and I listened to 3 of them. I love this book. It's one of my favourites. I went to see the play because it was so good. It's very unreliable narrator. Basically, Irina thinks that she's glassing people and killing people and she's buried people. And you don't really know what's true or not because she's a little bit nuts. It's very good. She is a photographer and she takes advantage of these men. And it's great. 10 out of 10. Fantastic. I went to see this play. My first play I've ever seen in the West End. It was amazing. I paid like £7-8 for a pint and it was the worst pint I've ever had. If it was a good pint, I wouldn't have even been that mad because I know London's expensive. But it was terrible. It was awful. I had to choke it down. But the book's good and the play's good. I loved this. It was a 1-woman play. It was fantastic. Big up Boy Parts. It's fantastic. I love it. I bought a tote bag from the play as well. It says bag salad on it. Sorry, I just threw the book on the sofa where my camera is, so got a little shaky cam action there. My apologies. I should have yeeted it on the floor over there. Whatever. This book, this took me a while to read. I got this from the Queer Britain Museum, which is by St Pancras. It's only a tiny little museum. It was really nice to learn about queer history and I had a little cry. They got a really good gift shop with books in it and little badges and stuff. I love a good badge. So this is Lesbian Love Story by Amelia Pasanza, and it's like multiple little stories about lesbians basically, and that's the end. But it's about like their history and being like olden times and not using the word lesbian, and just sort of the eternal lesbian struggle and things that we go through, you know. I really enjoyed it, but I feel bad for saying, but the author kind of annoyed me when she was talking about herself. I just want to hear about the other lesbians. Like, I didn't really want to hear about her and I feel really bad for saying it. I liked the book a lot, but I could have done with less of hearing about competitive swimming. There was quite a lot about competitive swimming. But apart from that, did really enjoy it. Obviously, they talk about Sappho. We love a good bit of Sappho. And then there's other people that I've never heard of, which is really good, from like the olden times. Olden time gays. A lot of stuff in it about drag kings, which I love. I love a good drag king. Oh yeah, and I got this bookmark free from Queer Britain. They were doing some fundraiser, but I don't think they're doing it anymore because there's a QR code on the back. I tried to donate and it wouldn't let me donate, but that's by the by. I like this. I'm probably gonna give it to the charity shop or something because I can't see any real like reread value. But I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it a lot. It was pretty good. Love the lesbians. Long live the lesbians, as they say. It was pretty good. Yeah, I liked that they had a lot of books in the Queer Britain Museum. They had trans books and lesbian books and gay books and bisexual books. They had books for everyone. It was fantastic. Right, those are my 2 physical books. God, I need to read more physical books and get them out of my house because there are so many. They're gonna just tumble down from the big piles in the attic and squash me flat like this. Squash. That sun really is going in and out, huh? It's annoying. My first audiobook, I'll put it here, was The Woman in Me by Britney Spears. I love Brit. I knew she'd been through so much, but I didn't realise the extent of it. Like, she wasn't allowed to like dress herself really. She couldn't like go anywhere where they would serve alcohol. Her dad was like so controlling. Poor Britney. I'm so glad she got out of the conservatorship and now she's not going to do music again, which I think is really good. Like, she just needs to focus on herself and her family. And oh my god, it's so sad. Poor Brit. I love her. I love her. She's great. The book, it made me, like, it was quite sad, very insightful. Yeah, I listened to the audiobook. My one gripe, and this is so petty, was it wasn't read by Britney, it was read by, she's called Michelle Williams. And my one gripe was the way that she would say words that begin with WH. So she'd be like, and then meanwhile. So she would say the H before the W, you know what I mean? Like, and when we did this. And the first few times it made me laugh, but then after that it was kind of knocking me, which is so bloody petty. I know, I'm sorry. The way I talk probably annoys people. It definitely annoys people. But that's my one gripe. But yeah, it was really, they really like manipulated her, you know? Like, they made her out to be like she was crazy and she was a bad mother and she had no control over things. It was just really horrible. And I'm glad that people really supported her and got her out of a conservatorship because good for her. Like, she's a grown woman. She should be in charge of her own life, you know? Hashtag free Britney. Britney's been freed. That was nonsensical, as always. Hey, 2 more books. I listened to James Acaster's Guide to Quitting Social Media, and it gave me no lessons on quitting social media apart from I need to befriend a road worker to get some tar to put on all my devices, which I've been unsuccessful in. I love James Acaster. I find him wildly attractive and I don't know why. I think it's like his corduroys. I just love his corduroys, man. There's nothing sexier to me than a pair of corduroys. Yeah, God love him. I was listening to this and I was just, and I'd be walking around, I'd be bursting out laughing when I read his other book, Classic Scrapes. I was howling when I was reading some of the stories. I just think he's so funny. He's funny and charming, and I just love him, you know? He's just a little freaky guy. But yeah, I learned nothing about quitting social media, but I would like to be part of the Tangfastic crew. Big up the Tangfastic crew. I wish that was me. But yeah, I was listening to it when I was on my way to the dentist, and I was really nervous about going to the dentist, but then I was just full chuckling on my walk up there, listening to James Acaster, so it really did, it calmed me down. I really like that. Thanks, James. You did it all for me. My last one, right. Finishing strong with another book by a comedian. This is surprisingly down to earth and very funny, my autobiography by Limmy. I love Limmy. I'm mad that like I got rid of my Twitter because I really miss Limmy on there. Like, when he would post really inflammatory things and Americans would always get really angry with him, it would just make me so happy. I'd be like, I'm living for it. I read his other 2 books, Daft Wee Stories and That's Your Lot. I love them. Like, I went to see him do a tour for one of them and I can't remember which one, and I did actually meet him. I'll put a photo in here. And he was surprisingly down to earth and very funny. That's all I can say. Yeah, he told a story. It wasn't even a story, he just said something like, being straight, what's that all about? And no one really laughed apart from me and my friend May. We were just howling because, I don't know, it was just a really funny thing to say. But yeah, his autobiography, he'd been through a lot as well. Like, he was, he had like a bad time. Like, I knew he didn't drink, but he had like a really bad time with alcohol and like, he took a lot of drugs and stuff, which I didn't think that was yeah, I didn't know all about that. And then he was talking about making his show and like his relationship with his wife, well, not his wife, girlfriend, Lynn. I just find him very interesting. He's just an interesting, weird bloke. And he started off with good old Flash animation, rest in peace, Adobe Shockwave, gone but not forgotten, and Flash Player, and I miss it. It was a simpler time of the internet when everything was just little Flash widgets. Anyway, I'm getting distracted thinking about early internet. Loved it. It was surprisingly down to earth and very funny. I like him a lot. I just think he's a really funny bloke, and I love him. I love Limmy, and I like when he got his cat and he was just obsessed with his cat, and all he would do was post a picture of his cat. I think the cat was called Bobby. I don't know if he's still posting pictures of the cat because I've not been on Twitter for nearly a year, so I'm missing out on all this Bobby action, but big up Limmy, I love him. None of these were very good reviews of books. I enjoyed them all though. 5 stars out of 5 stars for all of them. That's 10. 10 out of 5 stars for all of them. Right, I'm gonna head off. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, guys.